हेलो भाइयों और बहनों, आप सभी का स्टेनो मेनिया डिक्टेशंस के चैनल पर हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं आप सभी के लिए जिनका भी एग्ज़ाम RSMSSB राजस्थान बोर्ड का है, वहाँ 1000 वर्ड का डिक्टेशन आएगा। उसमें कोमा तो नहीं बोला जाएगा, लेकिन पैरा और फुल स्टॉप बोला जाएगा। और मैं 1000 वर्ड का जो डिक्टेशन दूंगा उसमें फुल स्टॉप और पैरा ज़रूर बोलूँगा, लेकिन कोमा वो अपन को तैयारी करनी है उसकी, कहाँ कोमा लगता है कहाँ नहीं लगता है। उसकी प्रैक्टिस धीरे धीरे अपन डिक्टेशन देते जाएंगे, वैसे वैसे प्रैक्टिस होती जाएगी। और ये डिक्टेशन SSC के लिए भी हेल्पफुल रहेगी। तो डेली 1000 वर्ड की डिक्टेशन डालूँगा। और ये डिक्टेशन फ्लक्चुएशन बेस्ड रहेगी, क्योंकि एग्ज़ाम में अपने जैसे 100 की स्पीड का एग्ज़ाम है तो वहाँ 110 एंड 115 तक स्पीड चली जाती है, फिर अपने वर्ड मिस हो जाते हैं। तो अपन क्या है, पहले से ही तैयारी थोड़ी फ्लक्चुएशन बेस पे करेंगे तो अपन एग्ज़ाम में अपन को कोई दिक्कतों का सामना नहीं करना पड़ेगा। तो मैं डेली ये प्रोवाइड करूँगा। आज के लिए महात्मा गांधी के ऊपर डिक्टेशन है विथ फ्लक्चुएशन। बी रेडी, स्टार्ट। Mahatma Gandhi, an Indian lawyer, anti-colonial nationalist and political, who employed non-violent resistance to lead the successful campaign for India's independence from British rule. Stop. He inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. Stop. The first applied to him in South Africa in 1914 is now used throughout the world. Stop para. Born and raised in a Hindu family in coastal Gujarat, Gandhi trained in the law at the Inner Temple, London, and was called to bar at age 22 in June 1891. Stop. After 2 uncertain years in India, where he was unable to start a successful law practice, he moved to South Africa in 1893 to represent an Indian merchant in a law. Stop. He went on to live in South Africa for 21 years. Stop. It was here that Gandhi raised a family and first employed non-violent resistance in a campaign for civil rights. Stop. In 1915, aged 45, he returned to India and soon set about organizing peasants, farmers, and urban laborers to protect against excessive land tax and discrimination. Stop para. Assuming leadership of the Indian National Congress in 1921, Gandhi led nationwide campaigns for easing poverty, expanding women's rights, building religious and ethnic amity, ending untouchability, and above all, achieving Swaraj or self-rule. Stop. He began to live in a self-sufficient residential community, to eat simple food and undertake breakfast as a means of both introspection and political protest. Stop. Bringing anti-colonial nationalism to the common Indians, Gandhi led them in challenging the British imposed salt tax with the 400 kilometers Gandhi Salt March in 1930, and in calling for the British to quit India in 1942. Stop. He was imprisoned many times and for many years in both South Africa and India. Stop para. Gandhi's vision of an independent India based on religious was challenged in the early 1940s by a Muslim nationalism which demanded a separate homeland for Muslims within British India. Stop. In August 1947, British granted independence, but the British Indian Empire was partitioned into two dominions, a Hindu majority India and a Muslim majority Pakistan. Stop. As many displaced Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs made their way to their new lands, religious violence broke out, especially in the Punjab and Bengal. Abstaining from the official celebration of independence, Gandhi visited the affected areas, attempting to alleviate distress. In the months following, he undertook several hunger strikes to stop the religious violence. The last of these was begun in Delhi on 12th January 1948 when he was at the age of 78. The belief that Gandhi had been too resolute in his defense of both Pakistan and Indian Muslims spread over some Hindus in India. A militant Hindu nationalist from Pune, Western India, who assassinated Gandhi by firing 3 bullets into his chest at an interfaith prayer meeting in Delhi on 30th January 1948. Gandhi's birthday, 2nd October, is commemorated in India as Gandhi Jayanti, a national holiday, and nationwide as the International Day of Non-Violence. Gandhi is considered to be the father of the nation in post-colonial India. During India's nationalist movement and in several decades immediately after, he was also commonly called Para. Although he only had an elementary education and had previously been a clerk in the state administration, proved a capable chief minister. During his tenure, he married 4 times. His first 2 wives died young after each had given birth to a daughter, and his third marriage was childless. In 1857, he sought his third wife's permission to remarry that year. He married, who also came from. In his autobiography, he states that they left an inedible impression on his mind. He writes, "It haunted me and I must have acted to myself times without number." Gandhi's early self-identification with truth and love as supreme values in traceable to these epic characters. The family's religious background was electric. Gandhi was deeply influenced by his mother, an extremely pious lady who would not think of taking her meals without her daily prayers. He would take the hardest vows and keep them without flinching. To keep 2 or 3 consecutive fasts was nothing to her. In 1874, Gandhi's father, where he became a councillor to its ruler, the Thakur Sahib, though Rajkot was a less prestigious state. At the age of 9, Gandhi entered the local school in Rajkot near his home. The Gujarati language and geography. At the age of 11, he joined the high school in Rajkot High School. He was an average student, won some prizes, but was a shy and tongue-tied student with no interest in games. His only champions were books and school lessons. In May 1883, the 13 years old was married to 14 years old. Her first name was usually shortened to and an arranged marriage according to the custom of the region at that time. In the process, he lost a year at school but was later allowed to make by accelerating his studies. His wedding was a joint event where his brother and cousin were also married. Recalling the day of their marriage, He once said, "As we did not know much about marriage, for us it meant only wearing new clothes, eating sweets, and playing with relatives." Stop. As was the prevailing tradition, the adolescent bride was to spend much time at her parents' house and away from her husband. Stop. In late 1885, Gandhi's father died. Stop. Gandhi, then 16 years old, and his wife of age 17 had their first baby in November 1887. The 18 years old Gandhi had dropped out of the cheapest college he could afford in Bombay. In July 1888, his wife Kasturba gave birth to their first surviving son. His mother was not comfortable about Gandhi leaving his wife and family and going so far from home. Gandhi's uncle also tried to dissuade his nephew. Gandhi wanted to go. To persuade his wife and mother, Gandhi made a vow in front of his mother that he would abstain from meat, alcohol, and women. Gandhi's brother, who was already a lawyer, cheered Gandhi's London studies plan and offered to support him. Over. डेली 5 से 10 मिस्टेक्स को कम करने की कोशिश करें। 3 से 3.5 महीने में आप स्टेनो में राजा बन जाएंगे। बस मैं डिक्टेशन डेली प्रोवाइड करूँगा, आप बस ईमानदारी से ट्रांसक्रिप्शन करें और उन्हीं 1000 वर्ड में से प्रैक्टिस करते रहें, तो आप जीत जाएंगे बहुत जल्द। ओके, थैंक यू।